The menu opens with Todd Wiesz, executive chef at Turnberry Isle Resort in Miami. It features Florida stone crab claw baked with herb phyllo dough and truffle butter. Then Gabino Sotelino cooks the entree from Ambria in Chicago. Using a stovetop smoker, he presents sturgeon with horseradish mashed potatoes. Finally, dessert is prepared by Philipe Maury, executive chef at the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas. It is caramelized pear pocket with cinnamon ice cream. Under Chef Todd Wiesz, the Turnberry Isle Resort and Club in North Miami was named Miami's best gourmet dining experience by the Zagat survey. He has considerable experience with the sort of rarefied cuisine served at spas and Tony resorts. Here, he prepares crab claw with phyllo and truffle butter.
First step to this dish, we're going to make some lobster butter. We're going to add chopped lobster. We're going to add about a half pound of butter. And take some shallots. About a half a cup of shallots. Just put everything right into the pot. Fresh thyme.
The pan will go into a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes.
Okay, and we're just going to pop that right in the oven. And that's the first step. That takes the longest time to cook. So that'll take about 45 minutes. We want to get a nice roasted color on the butter. That's an optional item. You can use a extra virgin olive oil or clarified butter or basil oil, but I like to use the lobster butter. It gives a little more seafood flavor to the dish. Okay, lobster butter's ready. Everything's nice and roasted. Nice flavor. Then we're going to strain this, and that'll be our lobster butter. We're going to brush in between the layers of phyllo. Just put the back of your knife or a little hammer. Give them a little crack. And we're going to leave this one tip of the claw on for presentation. Once we've done that, now we're going to make our layers of phyllo. Okay, when you're working with the phyllo, you want to keep a wet towel on top so it doesn't dry out. Remove one thin layer. Now we're going to take our lobster oil, brush that lightly on each layer. Got to have it completely covered so it doesn't dry out on the ends. Okay. And we're going to add a little chopped thyme.
Chopped chervil.
And a little fresh tarragon. Okay, sprinkle the herbs in. A little touch of pepper. And start with our next layer.
There are a total of 3 layers.
Okay, you want to press it down. Get out all the air pockets. Okay. And then start again. Brush the next layer with the lobster oil. Our pastry in about a 2-inch strip. I'm going to cut the end off here. About the size of the stone crab. You lay the stone crab on the end there. And this is how you measure the cut of the pastry. I'm going to take a little truffle butter, and I'm going to put a little dollop of truffle butter on there. And I'm just going to roll that stone crab in the pastry, the truffle butter. Just about half a strip, and just cut it right there. The truffle butter. Put the stone crab on top. One more truffle oil. And it's going to go into the oven like that.
10 minutes at 350. The sauce will include shrimp shells. It also includes chopped garlic and shallot, thyme, white wine, and the zest and juice of a tangerine.
And I'm going to add the juice. Stir. Add a little chopped tomato. let that cook down. Reduce the wine about half. Now I'm going to add a little bit of fish stock.
The mixture is brought to a boil, then simmered. The finished product is strained and put into a blender.
I'm going to add a few spoons of butter. On the blender.
The chef begins a side dish called zucchini and parsnip fettuccine.
And I'm just going to cut those into thin strips so they look like fettuccine. Okay. I'll take that, and blanch it, salted water.
Strips of parsnip get the same treatment.
And with the parsnips, I'm going to take, I just took water with a pinch of saffron, bring it up to a boil, and I strain the saffron threads out. And I'm going to add my parsnip to that. That should take a few minutes to cook. The parsnips take a little bit longer. Now we take our zucchini, saffron parsnips, a nice yellow color on there. Let's mix it with a little touch of salt, touch of pepper, and a little touch of butter. Just lightly toss that together. For the plate presentation, I'm going to take our fettuccine, twirl it on a fork. Nice little bundle. Place that on top. So you want the sauce to be nice and frothy. Garnish with a little sprig of fresh chervil. A little chive.
Gabino Sotelino was born in Spain, but apprenticed in Paris, where he says he learned to speak a little like a Frenchman and cook a lot like one. He's high profile in Chicago, having won the Beard Best Chef Midwest in 1997. From Ambria, a high-end destination, comes lightly smoked Columbia River sturgeon. Using a cold smoking technique, the chef has smoked a sturgeon fillet for 15 minutes to begin the dish.
It's about 6 pounds sturgeon, fresh. Take the skin off, all the bones and everything else, both sides. And then you season it properly and you put it on the smoker. Natural wood with a cold smoke. By now, slightly smoke. You can sense in your knows how much of the smoke you have in the salmon, I mean the sturgeon. We'll put about 4 ounces.
The sturgeon was smoked over hickory and seasoned with salt, pepper, and sugar. The sturgeon will be served with mashed potatoes, which are warmed in a little olive oil.
Flavor that. I'm going to put a little rifle, fresh rifle.
Fresh horseradish will be grated into the potatoes.
You do it just a little bit. Then the juices can come out. With a little spoon, you pick it up from the bottom of the thing to mix it together. Keep the plate a little warm. Then we serve the sturgeon lightly.
The sturgeon is seared on all sides.
Now we should cover that. Perfect. Across.
Beurre blanc mixed with caviar is the sauce.
And then we put just a half a teaspoon of the caviar, sturgeon caviar, of course, fresh, mix it with the sauce. Then we put and then the oil bee chives. That this is what we blend, and we put it just a little touch point. Then you take the garniture.
Deep fried sweet potato and lotus root garnish.
The potato. And I put it in the water like this. And then that way, and that way. Voila.
Jean-Philipe Maury got his early culinary training at Perpignan University in his native France. In 1992, he won a gold medal at the Grand Prix de la Gourmandise in Bordeaux. He worked in New York before coming to the Bellagio in Las Vegas. For dessert, he cooks caramelized pear pocket. The base for cinnamon ice cream, which will be served with the pear packet, begins by combining egg yolks and sugar.
We need to mix together.
Powdered milk will be added to the yolk mixture.
Powder milk. to add a little bit, half and half.
The base is tempered with warm half and half. Then ground cinnamon is added.
Okay. And cinnamon powder.
Finally, the rest of the half and half.
Half and half. Mix together. Okay. And
It goes back into the pan and onto heat, and is stirred until it thickens.
okay. Now I'm going to bake a little more. I'm going to strain a little bit.
The mixture is strained, cooled, and at this point could be put into an ice cream maker. Meanwhile, pears are peeled, cored, and sliced. They are caramelized in maple syrup, butter, and a scraped vanilla bean.
Now almost done.
Meanwhile, using the paddle attachment of an electric mixer, the chef has combined butter, sugar, eggs, flour, and almond flour into a pastry cream.
Add the almond powder.
The almond cream is set aside while the chef prepares a mold for the pear pocket. The pears are finished.
Now I'm going to make my caramel pocket caramelized pear. Take a mold, tartan mold. Some butter.
The French product, brick dough, is prepared.
Brick dough, it's almost like phyllo dough, but it's a different technique, process to make it. Okay, I'm going to brush some butter. After, I'm going to add it's very fragile. I'm going to add the second one.
The 2 layers of brick dough go into the mold.
To take my phyllo dough. To fill the mold like a pocket. Like this. Sleeping bag. And
This is the almond cream.
to fill like this. After I have some roasted pine nuts. Side. Some grape with a little bit of rum
Rum-soaked raisins.
and my Pear. Okay, like this. Now I'm going to close my pocket. Like this. And I'm going to close with vanilla bean.
The packet is tied with a vanilla bean and baked at 350 until golden brown.
Voilà. Now,
A canal of cinnamon ice cream, a pear chip, and a chocolate Bellagio logo complete the dish.